Well, good morning, everybody. It is about 8:15 in the morning on a Sunday. I'm up and early, ready to get at it, and I'm going to be heading over to the flea market in a few minutes. I'm just taking Daisy for a little morning walk around the neighborhood and letting Miss Primetime sleep in a little bit today, so I get a little extra brownie points for that. So let's get after it and see what we can find. All settled? All right, bye-bye. Okay, here we are yet again, familiar sight for many longtime prime timers. And our parking lot is relatively sparse yet again, but each week I have been generally able to get some treasures from people. So hopefully that will happen today as well. Let's see. All right, remember these two vintage unused coloring books? We've got Planet of the Apes here and Korg, which is a caveman themed book over here. I like these types of items, but I did not purchase them, and that relates to the title of the video, so I'll explain why in a few moments. Now, this is what's called a Super Mad Ball, came out in 1986. This one in this condition would be worth around $40, which is what he was asking, so I didn't get it. In mint condition, it's worth about $200. I used to play with the baseball-sized ones when I was a kid. This would have been cool to get. However, the item is actually not in there. Now, the box alone would sell for $25, but to pick it up for $5, and it's big, it's bulky, not worth it. So make sure you're checking the insides of boxes. I get these crochet blankets a lot at estate sales for a few bucks, but this lady wanted $25, so I passed. Wow, so it's one of those days here at the flea market where I got absolutely nothing, zero, zip, nada, and I had an interesting interaction with somebody who I have previously done deals with here, including the last 2 weeks. This is the guy who is selling the Planet of the Apes coloring book and the Korg coloring book. So when he came back over to his booth, I joked around with him a little bit and I said, hey, how much do you want for the 2 coloring books? Now keep in mind that this is normally a very happy-go-lucky guy, joke around and stuff. And, as soon as I asked him that question, he just became like aggressive is the best way that I could describe it. Verbally aggressive, not physically, but verbally. And he just seemed upset. And he said, I knew you were going to come over and ask me that as soon as I set up today. He goes, I want $15 for the Planet of the Apes coloring book, and I want $40 for the Korg book. And then as I'm just sitting there kind of processing this, because this is not how this guy normally does business, he looks at me and he says, I could look shit up on my phone too. So now I make no secret of the fact that I take my phone out and I look things up and I explain to people why I do that. And he also, by the way, I didn't tell you this before, but this guy works with another guy who he sets up with, who also sells on eBay. And this guy knows that I sell on eBay, and we've made deals before. In fact, I bought the Barnum and Bailey circus program from him a few weeks ago. You might remember that. So what I think happened is that he likely told this guy who I was doing deals with, like, hey, that guy sells on eBay. And so he started to just look things up more. Now, here's the thing about the prices, okay? So the Planet of the Apes book, okay, I could go on eBay right now and I could buy that for $13. And the most it's sold for is $18, best offer accepted. So I don't know how much was actually accepted. And people have tried selling it for 15 bucks and it's gone and it's ended and it has not sold. Now with the Korg coloring book, there are a bunch of people right now who are asking $50 or, around there for it. But there's someone asking $35 unused. Those 2 books were unused. And, there's no evidence, though, of somebody actually making a completed sale with it. So for me to purchase it would be me saying to myself, you know what, if I got it, I'd have to price it for much lower than 35. You know, I think it's interesting enough, but it obviously doesn't have a high demand on it because there's 4 available and there's no track record of any selling recently. So I'd be interested, but I'd have to be interested at the right price. And so instead of getting into an argument with him and laying all of this stuff out to him, I just looked at him and I said, okay, I said, I understand where you're coming from. I said, let's try to take a different tack, different angle. I said, you could probably see I have some boxes back there, right? Those are boxes of donations. They're just stuff that, you know, we got from around the house that we don't need. I'm going to take them over to Salvation Army or Goodwill. Now, they're mostly housewares, but there's some good stuff in there. Like there's a cast iron wok, for example, that you could probably at least get $10 for at a flea market. Like they're good flea market items. And it's worth more than what he's asking for his books. So I said to him, you know, hey, if you're interested, come over. My car's right over here. I said, we can make a trade. So he's like, nah. He's like, I don't know. I'm not really optimistic about that. What kind of stuff? So I told him, he goes, well, not right now. He goes, circle back and then let me know. So, okay, as I circle around, I come back and I say, hey, you know, you want to come over to the car? He goes, no. He goes, I don't think so. He goes, you know, you might think that, you know, everyone here is a bunch of dummies. He goes, you might find about 2 people here that don't know what they have. He goes, but we could all look stuff up too. And if you want to try to get deals on stuff, he goes, you know, I can't really work with you. He goes, and other dealers. He goes, you know, you're going to have to do what we do. You're going to have to take ads out on Craigslist and on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm looking at this guy and I'm just thinking to myself, you are talking to the wrong person, man. Like, I know all this stuff, right? I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I said, but I'm telling you, I said that that's why I'm trying to make a trade with you. I have plenty of stuff over here that will give you more value than what you have. I said, or else I'm just going to literally go by later on and I'm going to just drop it off at a donation center. I said, but you could have it. I'll give it to you. You just got, and honestly, really, if you really look at the comps data, like it's actually a good deal for him. So, and he says, you know, no, if I can't sell it here for the retail price, he goes, then I'm going to go sell it on eBay. So I said, okay. I said, I understand. He goes, you know, I'm not interested in housewares types of stuff. He goes, you know, I got to keep that stuff in my car. He goes, you know, it might take me a while to sell it. He goes, right now, he goes, you know, it's tough financially. He goes, and I need cash. And I totally understand that. I totally understand that. It's one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is that, you know, it's interesting to me how few people there are set up at the flea market. And I think that people really are, you know, they really are looking for cash. So the ability to make a trade, you know, could be really difficult this time because of that. You know, and that's why you see things, I think, like the lady trying to sell that, you know, that crochet rug for, you know, for $25, right? Could go at a, you know, estate sale and get it for a few bucks because they're just selling tons of stuff all in one place. Whereas these people, you know, they're bringing a limited amount of stuff. And so, you know, I understand where the guy's coming from. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I'm not going to make the purchase when it's not a good purchase just because that guy needs cash. I will make a cash offer to him if I could get a good deal on the item. Now, I don't need those books. If I could get them for a good price, I would purchase them. But, you know, that's how you've got to look at it. Sometimes you're going to have an impasse between yourself, because you're now in a buyer role. Even though you're a seller, you're trying to buy from somebody else who's selling to you. And there's got to be enough of a space in between there, you know, refer to it as meat on the bone, like they say in American Pickers. And the guy literally said to me, he said, I am not going to sell anything here to you or anybody else in which you could then go take it and go sell it on eBay and make more than I can. So my response though to that is, dude, you are at the wrong place. You should not be set up at a flea market. That's not what this place is for. I get it. And there's maybe some items where someone might want to get a retail value for, but on average, like the main stuff you're selling at a flea market, you're bringing it to a flea market because you're trying to get rid of it. I mean, for the most part, that's what you're trying to do. And it's a known thing. I mean, that's where dealers go to get stuff. So this guy, at least for now, unless this is 1 week where he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, he's going to be crossed off as a person that I source from. And I've dealt with people like this from time to time, and my suggestion in these situations is try not to get into a fight. Tell me understand where they're coming from. Try to make a deal as best as you can. I understand he's got to have a situation that works for him, but it also has to work for you. It's got to work for me. And so I said, okay, all right. And, I just moved on, and that was it. But, interesting situation, interesting interaction. I just wanted to share it with you. So now I'm going to head over to one estate sale. It's the one that I hit up on Sundays, where it's the second day of a 2-day sale, and everything $25 or less is 50% off. So let's see if we can have some success there. Well, I think we found the estate sale. Look how much stuff is in that garbage dumpster. Oh my goodness, could you imagine what's inside this place? Wow, let's take a look. So normally I go down to the basement first, but in this instance, the basement was so creepy and so scary that they wouldn't let people down in there. So I started to look at other stuff in the kitchen. This I did not pick up, but I'm showing it as an example to people who are new because it's something that looks cool, but it's not worth anything. It doesn't sell, so be careful about that. These, on the other hand, are cool. I always say to look out for things that are tiki themed. Now, the 29-inch ones sell for over $60, so I always take a little measuring tape with me, just like that, so I could know for sure if it's the same ones that I am comping, and those are the exact same ones with the exact same length. So pick those up. It's going to be $7.50, half price. So this is another room. Just start looking around. You could see the records are just shredded up. It's like a bunch of Pavarotti stuff. If I see Pavarotti one more time, I'm going to freak out. There's a bunch of these. Just, Santa stuff, Santa things. I would have picked up this one, this Syracuse one, but you could see there it just has too much wear on the on the name tab there. So I just said, forget it. I looked around. Now up top there, you could see that there are some cats. They're wood cats, but those particular ones aren't worth anything. The artist is not anyone who's known, so not going to go for much. Now, there was a lot of cat things there. Some of them had crazy prices on them, like those, $75 a piece. Not going to buy those. But these, I could not believe that these were still there. The reason why I think they were still there is that people thought that someone had already purchased them, because the way you have to picture this is right behind those, there's the checkout area. And normally people leave stuff up front that, they want to hold, they don't want to carry around. So I asked them, I said, hey, are these still available, or, is someone holding them? They're like, no, you could purchase them. I was like, great. So, maybe someone brought them over there and then just decided not to buy them. I don't know. But for $5 a piece on those, plus they're signed by the original artist on the back, at least most of them are, for the bigger ones. And then there's these smaller plaques, which were awesome too. So I just picked all of them up. I was very happy about that. I'm going to list them tonight, actually, or tomorrow. Big geode here. I want to give a shout out to Don, the auction professor, who just did a big video about geodes, but for $525, I was not going to get that. This I picked up for, I think, $5, and these sell for right around $60. It's cast iron, very strong. It's a candle holder. So that was a really cool piece right there. So just put that right in there and move on to the next item. This here, you might remember the show, The Victory Garden, and that's where Roger Swain comes from. And so for just $1, because that's going to be half price, he's got a lot of fans. The man in the red suspenders, this was definitely worth picking up. Be interesting to see what he goes for. Should I take you home? Yeah? No? You seem a little non-committal there, Roger. I'm not sure you're going in the box. Now this, I think this was the best item. I cannot believe this. This is just hanging above. I just think people just don't see these things. And it's signed by one of the most famous artists in Britain, Warwick Jacobs. So I picked this up also for just $5. Here we've got another one of these staircases from Gremlins. So 2 days in a row with these things. There wasn't that much up here. As you can see, the rooms and the drywall was, really in bad shape. It had some art hanging up, but nothing I was really interested in. Looked around, there were some CDs and stuff and some cassettes and things. I did wind up picking up one of them, this one here. It usually only is posted in England. It's Paul Bunyan, and, that's a famous story and stuff. So it's sealed. One of these recently sold actually for 20 bucks. So I picked it up. The cheapest you could find one now is 30. This is a bunch of Christmas stuff and there wasn't anything good in there. So called it a day. All right, well, we're done. I got everything there for a grand total of $47. Everything you saw me get today was 50% off, including those 8 signs. And that's exactly why I strategically go on this day to this particular dealer, because he always runs 2-day sales with the last day. Everything $25 and below, 50% off. So it works out great. And anything above that, he's willing to negotiate and make a deal. So for me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to go on that first day unless there was something like absolutely amazing and insane. He tends to price things up more than some of the other estate sale dealers, which is why, again, this second day works out best for me. So you've got to know your dealers, know how they operate. Everyone's a little bit different, and just adjust your strategy accordingly. You know, and just to circle back, you know, the success that I had here is really in stark contrast to what happened at the flea market today, but it also helps to inform you why I don't bother getting into any kind of argument or debate with, you know, people at the flea market or at a garage sale or anything like that, because I know there's just somebody else, and there's somebody else who I'll be able to make a great deal with like I did today. So there's plenty of stuff out there. It's just not worth the hassle to get yourself stressed out about that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you comment down below. That's real important. It helps give the video traction, or ask a question or something like that. You know, I read all your comments and I try to interact with as many of you as I possibly can. So thanks again for being part of the Primetime family. If you've been around for years, or if you're brand new, welcome in. I'm excited to have you, and look forward to growing here with you on board. So I'm gonna head back to Primetime Treasure headquarters, say hi to Daisy, and take care of some other things over there. So I'll see you back the next one, everyone. Take care. Hey, where'd Daisy go? She's not sitting in her spot. She must be back here. Hey, Daisy, what are you doing? I like how you've got that little smiley guy and your pet chicken. And you're just laying on that thing. That is so cute. You got your little teddy bear and everything. All right, everyone say hi to Daisy in the comments. See you at the next one. Bye.